What makes a movie soundtrack truly great? Is it a collection of hits that transcends the film? Is it how perfectly the music matches the scene? Or is it something deeper, a moment where a soundtrack actually changes the trajectory of music history? If we're talking about that third category, the game changers, there is one contender that stands above the rest. It's an album born out of exhaustion, cynicism, and the absolute peak of global mania. It's 1965, it's the Beatles, and it's Help. Help isn't just a great collection of songs, it is arguably the greatest original soundtrack album ever made. Because it's the moment the movie soundtrack stopped being a marketing gimmick and became high art. To understand why Help is so momentous, you have to understand 1965. Beatlemania wasn't fun anymore. It was a prison. They had conquered the world with A Hard Day's Night just a year prior, and the industry demanded a sequel immediately. The premise for the new movie was thin. It was basically the Beatles meet James Bond on laughing gas, involving a sacrificial ring, an Eastern cult, and a mad scientist. It was goofy, technicolor nonsense, and the Beatles hated making it. John Lennon later said they felt like extras in their own movie. They were stoned, bored, and creatively restless. But here is the crucial paradox. The sillier the movie got, the more serious the music became. The pressure of the film forced them to write under the gun, and instead of churning out simple love songs, they started looking inward. The movie was a cartoon. The soundtrack was a confession. A quick, vital disclaimer. When I talk about the Help soundtrack, I am talking about the UK Parlophone release. American audiences in 1965 got a butchered version filled with Ken Thorne's orchestral score from the movie. The UK version is the real deal. 7 songs from the film on side 1, 7 non-movie tracks on side 2. It's a cohesive Beatles album, and it starts with perhaps the most deceptive pop song ever written. The title track. It's fast, it's catchy, it sounds like a party. But listen to the lyrics. When I was younger, so much younger than today, I never needed anybody's help in any way. John Lennon was fat, depressed, and trapped in his suburban mansion. This wasn't a pop idol crooning. This was a genuine cry for psychological assistance hidden inside a 2-minute up-tempo banger. Before Help, soundtrack songs were usually promotional fluff. John made the title track existential. But it wasn't just lyrics. Musically, Help is the bridge between the early Mersey beat sound and the studio wizardry of Rubber Soul and Revolver. This is where the cute Beatles started getting weird. Take You've Got to Hide Your Love Away. This is John doing Bob Dylan. It's acoustic, introspective, and features the first outside session musician on a Beatles track since their debut, a flute player. They were breaking their own rules. Then you have Ticket to Ride. John called this one of the earliest heavy metal records. Listen to the drone of that guitar. Listen to Ringo's stumbling, heavy drum pattern. It's hypnotic. It was a massive sonic departure from I Want to Hold Your Hand. And of course, The Elephant in the Room, the most covered song in history. Yesterday. It's easy to take this song for granted now, but in 1965, putting a song on a rock and roll album that featured only Paul McCartney and a string quartet was revolutionary. It was terrifying for the band. They worried it wasn't rock, but George Martin convinced them. It proved that a Beatles soundtrack didn't even need the Beatles on every track. Before Help, rock movie soundtracks were mostly filler designed to sell popcorn. Think of the lesser Elvis movies. Help raised the bar. It proved that a soundtrack album could stand completely apart from its film as a major artistic statement. It's the crucial pivot point. Without the sonic experiments on Help, you don't get Rubber Soul 6 months later. And without Rubber Soul, you don't get Sgt. Pepper. The movie Help is a fun, dated time capsule of 60s pop art. But the album Help is timeless. It's the sound of the greatest band in the world growing up, right before our eyes, and disguising their growing pains as perfect pop music. But that's just my take. Is Help the GOAT, or am I forgetting something obvious like Purple Rain or The Graduate? Let me know your pick for the greatest OST down in the comments. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more music deep dives. Thanks for watching.